Hi, welcome to Tangeless Oracle. Thank you for joining me today. So today, the reading will be on a person that, as you see on the thing, it says the widow. I'm not gonna call any names, and everything is allegedly. Okay. All right. So I'm using these cards today for this reading. Um, and I'm just gonna ask a couple of questions. All right. About this person, you're gonna figure it out as I go along who I'm talking about. So that's why I'm not putting anybody's name up. Okay, so the first thing that, the first question that I want to know is, was this person made a widow because of a plan? Okay, so that's what I want to know. Were they made a widow because of a plan? And I'm using these cards for a reason. Okay, so were they made a widow because of a plan? Yes. And the yes is coming out. And I want you to see it says yes here. And so you can see that I'm not just saying it says yes. Okay. So this card comes out is a Three of Pentacles. And it has everything on the card. So you can see that I'm not just saying these words. The word, that's what the card means. Okay. So the Three of Pentacles is about teamwork, collaboration, learning, implementation, and building something. So the answer to the question is yes. And the reason why it's yes is because it was based on teamwork and collaboration. So that means the question was it a plan for this person to be a widow? Was it from a plan? And it says yes, and it was collaborated. It was a team effort. Triplicity, expression, expansion of the idea, growth, first stages of completion. So this is the first part of the plan being completed. Okay, so that's that. And so we're going to go into this question a little bit more. And I'm not going to pull a lot of cards, but I'll be here all day with that because I got other questions. Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles, the Hangman, and the Four of Cups. And so here we have the Hangman, and here it says a pause, a surrender, letting go, a new perspective, enlightenment, viewing things differently than before, deep insight, sacrifice, change, and release. So it's the pause before the planning. And it says 12 reduces to 3, which is about communication and creativity. So there was some talk before things were done. So it was a conversation had to create something. And that's why the pause was up. And the pause here was for sacrifice, change, and release. Okay, so that's what that was for. And now we have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so that's the pause to collaborate on a change that you want to bring about and releasing something and sacrificing. So here you have the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles says long-term view, hard work, perseverance, diligence, sustainable results, and investment. So what you were planning here, what you were communicating on the plan here was, and it goes back to what it says here, regaining or losing control, mastery, choices, responsibility, myth, and secrets. Okay, so behind that pause, or before that pause, and what's happening before that, was somebody had a long-term goal in mind. Okay, they were trying to make an investment. They made an investment in something. Okay, and so here is someone who is looking at things long term. What's the benefit for me in the long term? What's going to be beneficial for long term success? Okay. And then came the collaboration and the communication, the point to where they stopped and said, you know what, this is what we need to do because our long term thing has we have a goal for a long term goal. And then here, like, goes back to this card, it was collaboration, teamwork. So it wasn't just her, it was a team that came together to discuss some things because they were looking at long term goals here. Okay. Now we have the Four of Cups, and it says meditation, contemplation, apathy, reevaluation, and disconnected. Okay. So after the communication and after the decision was already made, because you already got together with somebody or people got together and decided this is what they're going to do, okay, for the long-term vision, long-term goal. And over here, after that collaboration, we have someone being disconnected. And over here it says form, completeness, foundations, progress, power, and stability. So here you have somebody being totally disconnected. So that means they are disconnecting themselves. How do you say it? They're disconnecting themselves from something. Let me just put it that way. And cups is about emotions. This is about investments, monetary, here. But this is about your emotions. So you're disconnecting emotionally in order to make things happen. Because you're looking at progress, power, and stability. Maybe that was what is offered to you because see this here? This is heaven, the cloud, coming down to offer, is presenting you something here. So that's why they're disconnected because they have been presented with something, and it's connected to how they feel, their emotional standpoint, okay? But it's also connecting them to power, stability, and progress, right? And I'm just going to clarify these one more time, and then I'll go to the next. Okay, so now we have the Nine of Pentacles. And this is about the fruits of labor, rewards, luxury, self sufficiency, and financial independence. That's what this is, right? And it's sitting on top of the hangman. And what I said the hangman was going to do, it was you connecting with people, collaborating with people, okay? Communicating with people about sacrifice, change, release. It was a pause, a new perspective, enlightenment, viewing things differently than before. Okay, so somebody came to try to change your mind about something, to give you a new perspective on how to look at things. And what was it about? It was about rewards of luxury, self sufficiency, and financial independence. This is Nine of Pentacles. Strength, compassion, completion, optimism, and suffering. Okay? So somebody came and talked to you and said, this is what can happen from this. You can be set up very good. We're going to set you up good. I can be set up good financially from my work that I put in or that I've done. I'm going to be rewarded with luxury. I'm going to be self sufficient. I'm going to be financially independent. I don't have to worry about anything. Now, over here, we have the Queen of Wands. And this talks about the courage, the confidence, independence, focus, zest for life, determination, and joy. Okay. So over here, like I said, this was somebody having a long-term goal in mind. They want a certain result. They want a good result from what they're about to try to accomplish. And then you have the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is about action, the things that you do being perfected, being good at what you do, perfecting what you do. Okay? So that means you have to be good at what you do. And here is somebody being confident, independent, and focused. So that means that whatever it is that you have in mind has to be correct. Like, okay, I got to do this and I got to do that in order to make this work, to make this happen. So this is someone who's making specific steps to take. They're creating specific steps to take. They're making targeted steps, targeted moves, because they're trying to do things or make sure things line up the way that they want them to do. Okay, and then we have that next to the Nine of Pentacles, which is letting me know that whoever this person is, they're getting this rewards because somebody has allowed them, that they already spoke to somebody about you becoming the Queen of Wands. So when they decided, they came up with this plan, they worked together with this plan, they're looking for a feminine energy to come in who can show the courage, the confidence, and the independence. They're focused on a certain thing. Their actions is focused, and they're becoming independent. They're getting rewarded for this. Now we have the Judgment. The Judgment says, judgment, rebirth, inner calling, a new phase, absolution, reckoning, awakening, redemption, forgiveness, and mercy. 20 reduces to 2, and 2 is about balancing polarities. This is kind of like this. I just pulled a few cards last night so I can decide if I wanted to do the reading and if it was what I was thinking, and then it showed me what I was thinking. So, and then I got the same thing right here on this card. And I also pulled this card first too. last night. But anyway, so it's about balancing polarities. So it's trying to balance the two sides. Okay. So, and here with that, you have meditation, contemplation, apathy, reevaluation, and disconnect. And it says form, completeness, foundations, progress, power, and stability. You're trying to, it's like somebody is trying to bring something to fruition, but in order to do that, they have to pull the other side together for the judgment, how people view you, how things are viewed, how people view you, your perspective on certain things, how you judge certain things, how you look at certain things. So maybe they want to influence you in certain ways. Okay. So, hey, this is what we want you to do. This is the offer. Could be the play on the emotions. This is what we want you to do. We want you to be able to change people's perspective, give people a different outlook on certain things. This is your new job. This is your job to do, is to give people a new perspective. Okay. So I'm gonna stop at that with that question. And then let's go to the next question. Okay, and so the next question is, was this the plan all along? Was this the plan all along? Yes. Okay. And yes, and then we have the sun card, and it means positivity, pleasure, happiness, vitality, fun, joy, warmth, celebration, success, rebirth, all is well. And this is the number 19 card. And here it says 19, which reduces to 1, the number for new beginnings and success. So was it planned all along? Yes, because it was trying to bring something to the light, bring something forth, a new chapter, a new thing that they were trying to bring forth. Okay? So they were trying to bring something to the forefront. That's why it was planned all along. Okay? And I'm just going to pull the cards like I pulled before. 3 and 3. Okay, so we can get the explanation. Okay, so now we have in the middle the Knight of Pentacles. And this is hard work, productivity, routine, conservation, efficiency, and responsibility. Okay, so this is something that takes time, dedication. It's not something that happens overnight. This is the long term thing. This is the long game. Okay, because you're not rushing to accomplish something. You're taking your time for it to build up. Okay. Now, Here we have the Three of Cups. And this is a celebration, friendship, collaboration once again, creativity once again, community, happiness. And here, triplicity, expression, expansion of the idea, growth, first stages of completion. Same card I got last night. So that means, once again, this was all orchestrated. It was a team effort because they had an end game. And this was the reason for the connection in the beginning, because that connection was the first stage of the plan, the first stage of completion. Okay, it was a long game. It wasn't something that was supposed to boom, 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 boom. It was something that's supposed to over time. Okay, it was a long game. So here we have the King of Pentacles, and this says business, leadership, security, discipline, abundance, prosperity, and generosity. Okay. And here, the collaboration, that long game, was for business and wealth, leadership, prosperity, generosity. Because you just saw before that it was already discussed that you were going to be well off at the end of this. This is somebody, the King of Pentacles is someone who is accomplished, who has money, who is successful. Because it says right here, business, wealth, leadership, security. So this is somebody who's able to do what they need to do because they got the money, they got the power, they got the influence here. And over here, this Three of Cups is the team. That means group of people, the community, whatever, coming together, celebrating something. They're celebrating the results of the first part of their plan is being celebrated for the long-term goal over here. All right. This y'all take too long. I get ready to go to work. All right. Now we have the King of Wands in the middle. And this means natural leader, visionary, entrepreneur, big picture, overcoming challenges, mature, and career focused. Okay? So, now that's part of the long game, the long term plan. It's somebody to be a leader. But it's a big picture here. It's the bigger picture. It's to become a leader. And that, oh, I overcame certain things. King of Wands goes back to the first question where we had the Queen of Wands. Okay? The Queen of Wands here. Now we have the King of Wands here, where somebody has perfected something. They're perfected, and it's all about their actions and the things that they do. That's what Wands is. Okay? So now you have somebody who has accomplished something. They have become a leader in something, a visionary in something. Now, here, we have the Eight of Cups. Disappointment, abandonment, withdrawal, escapism, walking away, and leaving behind. So the Eight of Cups, manifestation, practicality, skill, absolute decisions, business, and the ego. So the Eight of Cups talks about you walking away from something even though you should be fulfilled. Like, why did this person leave if everything was going well? Everything was going well, and this person walked away. This person has left. This person is gone. But everything was so good. It left the empty space here. It left something was missing here. The celebration in the community, okay? Not because someone has left, but that was before. And now somebody has left. They have perfected things. They were a leader, a visionary, but now they're gone. See how they're being revered? Public recognition, victory, progress, self-confidence, movement, balance, solutions, harmony, healing, and empathy. This person that was looked up to is so doing all these good things. They're gone. They were held up high. They were being recognized. Okay? They had money behind them. That was the business. They were recognizing the things that they do. And it was all part of the long-term plan. It was already set to be the way it was. Everything was. Okay? Okay, so what's behind it? What's the reason behind it? What's the reason? What's the reason? 5 of Pentacles. Got this card last night. Financial loss, lack of mindset, loss, isolation, worry, need, poverty, insecurity, instability, exaggeration, overexertion, strife, changes, freedom, and loss. So, what this card means is that things are not going well for you. Okay? Pentacles. Things are not going well for you. You feel left out. You feel abandoned, disregarded. Nobody is considering you. Okay? And before here, we have, once again, the 4 of Cups, which is meditation, contemplation, apathy, reevaluation, disconnected, form, completeness, foundations, progress, power, and stability. And once again, here is something being presented to you. It's like, oh, this is a gift. Okay. Not everything is a gift, it's a gift. This is something being offered to you. Sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. Because sometimes you can see it and not want it. And sometimes it could be presented and you're not paying attention to it, so you don't get it. Okay? So Here we have somebody feeling disregarded, pushed to the side, abandoned. All right? They feel isolated and they're worrying about their well being. And over here is something that's saying, wow, this is something that we can do that's being presented, that we have an opportunity here being given to us to where we can change this or we can try to shift certain things. That's why the contemplation here, they're just deciding what they're going to do. And here we have the Queen of Wands, once again, coming out, talking about courage, confidence, independence, focus, zest for life, determination, and joy. This is what you're trying to accomplish. But you need the feminine to do that, the queen to do that, right? So, because you feel as if it's a loss happening and you're looking for an opportunity, you're contemplating what it is that you need to do to offset this feeling of abandonment, this feeling of loss, things you're losing out on. You feel like you're going to be disregarded. So you have to bring someone in to change that perspective, to bring up that zest again, that joy again for you. Okay? Back again. So now the collaboration comes. Teamwork, collaboration, learning, implementation, building something because you feeling disregarded, left behind. Um, you don't feel like things is working in your favor. It's not fair to you, whatever the however you want to put it. Nobody thinking about you. However you want to put that. Okay. Um, and now you're collaborating to build something with this Three of Pentacles. And over here, you have the Five of Swords, which is the conflict, disagreements, competition, defeat, winning at all costs, sneakiness, bullies, theft, and abusive relationships. Okay. And the swords is mental. Okay. Your mentality, the way you communicate, the way you talk, the way you think. Okay. What does it say on the side? Instability, exaggeration, overexertion, strife, changes, freedom loss. Okay. So this is just saying that you're coming together to try to work something, okay? Because you're being left out. Now over here, this is the sneakiness and then the winning at all costs, bullying, taking things, being all abusive in that to get it. So that means you're going to do whatever it is that you need to do to win, regardless of it being fair, okay? And that's on top of this, which is the contemplation, reevaluation, and disconnected. So it's like we can't be nice with this because they are already disregarding us. We got to do something. And we're not going to do it in a fair way. Because you're trying to win things at all costs and you're being a bully and abusive. Maybe you don't see that because, like I said, sometimes you can see that and sometimes you can't. Depends on where you are. Sometimes things is in front of you and you can't see it. And sometimes you see it and you don't want to look at it. You don't want to recognize that. The behaviors that you have, the things that you say, the way that you think, maybe you don't want to see that. Okay. And maybe you do. So you're working with other people to help you stop being looked at, pushed to the side in a negative way. Okay. You're trying to perhaps change somebody's perspective of you, right? So now we got the king and the queen of wands together. Okay. The king, the natural leader, visionary, entrepreneur, big picture, overcoming challenges, mature, career focused. And the queen, courage, confidence, independence, focus, zest for life, determination, and joy. So you got a man and a woman, masculine and feminine, all working together to achieve something. The things that they're doing, they're coming together to achieve something. Okay. And here, this is what has been coming together. It's because of the way you have been viewed and or the way that you feel you have been viewed. Because before we said they're trying to change got the judgment card, which is the changing of perspective. We want people to start looking at this in a different type of way. Here's the judgment. Okay. I like the numbers on the card because I'm looking at other stuff too while I'm pulling these cards, but I ain't gonna get into that. But here we have the Seven of Swords. Betrayal, deception, getting away with something, acting strategically, trickery, regaining or losing control, mastery, choices, responsibility, myth, and secrets. Okay? So, here is the sneakiness once again. You're not being truthful in what it is that you're trying to do. You're not being honest. So that means you're saying one thing, but in actuality, that's not what it is. You're trying to accomplish something by lying to people, by being deceptive. Because you have an end game, as we already saw. It's not something that's going to run these plays real quick and win this game. No, this is something that's a long game. It's not something that's going to happen in 1 to 2 years. It might take several years. Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles is the long game. You ain't rushing. Now they don't rush to get something done. You're taking your time, building things up step by step. So, but there's some deception behind the collaboration. And it's all going back to you feeling like you're being isolated, you're being left behind, you're not being taken in, you're not being accepted here. Okay? People are losing interest in you or not showing any interest in you. And over here we have the judgment, which I said is judgment, rebirth, inner calling, a new phase, absolution, reckoning, awakening, redemption, forgiveness, and mercy. And the 20 reduces to 2, and 2 is about balancing the polarities, balancing things out, making things seem equal, even if it's not. But they want you to have the perception, the viewpoint that it is, or that it is not. Because this is somebody being deceptive in what they're doing. They may tell you one thing, but they're doing another thing, and somebody is trying to change the view that you have. However, what's behind it is deception. Deception. Because right here, some people choose to see or choose not to see what's in front of them. Depends on your mindset. This depending on your emotional, um, where you are emotionally. Because a lot of people's action is determined by emotions. I go based on what I feel, not what I know and what is clearly in front of me. I'm using my emotions to make a decision or to not make a decision because it's my emotions. And here, somebody is, get a picture. Somebody, you see these people, they are deceased. And here you have this angel here bringing them back to life, calling them up for judgment. Everything is all good now. Okay? You can come back. All right? So, this, okay, is this right here. The high priestess, intuition, sacred knowledge, the subconscious, divine, feminine, trust yourself, sensitivity, purity, high morals. The beginning of the projects and creative endeavors. See the king, the queen, and the high priestess together. So, the high priestess, like it says, represents divine feminine, purity, and high morals. That means this is someone who should be pure with high morals. Pure with high morals. Feminine, the divine feminine. Pure with high morals. That's what the perspective. But it's deception. It's not that. But if that's what you choose to see, then that's what it will be. Because, A, I'm telling you here, the mind and the heart for judgment, your perception of something, but it's deception all in here with this. It could be a perceived. The actions that this right here is doing is purity, high morals. But the beginning of the projects and creative endeavors. So we standing on high ground. But look at the deception in between here, the judgment and the purity. Okay? So how you view something. But it's deception. It's not what it is. It's deception. It's deception. It's being orchestrated for a reason. Now, if you don't understand what the reading is getting at, I'm not calling anybody name, but if you don't understand what the message is, I gotta hurry up because I gotta get ready. If you don't understand what the message is, I'm gonna say this. And I said it in a previous video, and I break my videos up, and I might space them out too far and people forget, but I break my videos up for a reason. First of all, I want to give you time enough to absorb the information that you got, have time to think, because I want you to form your own opinion. I don't never like to tell somebody else what to think, but I put it in a way that you have to think to understand it. And so I made a video, I can't remember the name, but I made a video not too long ago, and I told you that things that are happening, if you pay attention, things are happening that you think is one thing, but is in actuality something else. They want you to think it's one thing, but in actuality, it's something else. You just got to pay attention. That's why you can't get caught up in what they say is going on, because that's not what it is. So it is what you think it is, but it's not what it is. And I'm going to explain what I'm saying. The things that you see that is happening, if you see it, the things that you see that is happening is not what it's all about. And in that video, I said that we think it's about race, but it's not. But it is. It's two-sided. The balancing of the polarities. I done got that. Balancing the polarities, opposite ends, balancing it out, right? And that's two things. One, it's not really about race, even though that's what they're playing. It's not really about that, but it is. Okay? What it is how you say, the patriarchy. That's what it is. Like, no, it ain't. Yes, it is. And I'm going to explain why I think. I'm not telling you what to think, what to feel, whatever. But the masculine and the feminine, let's put it that way. And I made a video talking about the age of Aquarius, the divine masculine, and the divine feminine. Go back and read that, because that is what I was trying to explain before I got to it's not about the race. So the divine masculine and the divine feminine, okay, that's what it's about, along with race. So if we look at what's happening around us, look at the feminine energy today. What's happening with that? It's rising. We don't want it. We, not me, we don't want it to rise. We want the masculine to remain on top. So we have to change the perspective or the mindset of the feminine so that we can keep them okay with being to the side. And what is that? The God, the goddess, the balancing of the polarities, the opposite sides. Now, how does that have to do anything with race? People gonna get mad at this one, because what they tell you this already. They're telling you already. Even though some people believe it and some people don't believe it, they're telling you already. They've been telling you. Masculine, God; feminine, mother; masculine, patriarchy, God, white, mother, black. They tell you this already. You just gotta listen to what they say. So, in order to push the darkness and the mother down to keep the light and the masculine up, you can't have, they don't want this, they want this. This to be hidden. The mother behind this, and they're supposed to be like this to have everything in balance, the polarities in balance. And it's like the card said, balancing the polarities. They see the shift and things are put in place for us to not help the shift happen. Look at what they're doing. So that's the reading. That's the reading. Figure that out, what I just said. Okay. You can thumbs down, you can thumbs up, you can dislike, whatever. Okay. You can leave your comments in the comment section. I'm just gonna delete people who don't know how to talk respectfully. But leave your comments in the comment section. Thank you.